Hi, so in this video I'll be showing you how to produce a elevation for a building, and this is in preparation for your technical drawing CSEC exam in June. So just in case they give you an elevation or any form of elevation drawing to do from a floor plan, I'm going to show you how to produce this elevation without having to draw the floor plan. Alright, now again, it is very important that you read the instruction. This is how you're going to know what to do. Alright, now here we have a past paper question that says that the outline of a floor plan layout for a 2-bedroom residence is shown in figure 2 and on the enclosed sheet. Now here I have it down here, but on the day of the exam you'll have it directly in front of you. Alright, now it says that the building is to be covered with a combination hip and gable roof as shown in the roof outline. Alright, now if you do not know what is a hip roof, you need to do some research. If you do not know what is gable roof, you need to do some research. Ask your teacher. You need to know the different types of roof. Alright, how they look from a plan perspective and how they look from an elevation perspective. Alright, now here we have the outline for the roof, and it is shown using the hidden detail or broken lines, as you can see here. Alright, so I'm trying to explain this as best as possible. Alright, so here this portion, as you can see here, this is clearly an hip roof, and then the rest of it is a gable roof, and this is indicated by the straight broken line going down the middle here. Alright, so that's the ridge board. Going back up, now it says that you are to draw to a scale of 1 in 50, and please note, this 1 in 50 does not mean that you're going to multiply the measurement that is given to you by 50. Alright, you're going to draw your object or your floor plan or your elevation 1 to 1 or based on the measurements given to you. So whatever measurement they give you, that's what you should draw them at. Alright, so 1 in 50 in accordance with this drawing standards practice for basically elevation drawing. Now you are required to produce a front elevation and a side elevation, and at the end, once you're finished, you need to print a suitable title and the scale used based on each drawing. So you're going to have one that says front elevation, that's one of the title, and you're going to have the 1 in 50 scale just below, and it's going to be the same thing for the side view. Please note that dimensions that are not given are left to your discretion, so you decide how you're going to do your drawing. Alright, note briefly as well, the standard drawing practice and conventions for floor plans and elevations are to be followed. Alright, so ensure that your annotation and all that stuff, your dimensioning and all that is on par. Now here is a specification sheet that tells you what is needed or what the building is about, what are there. Now as you can see here, our doors, we have 3 types of door. We have D1, D2 and D3. D1 door is a sliding glass door, and the dimensions for it is 1800 wide by 2100 high. D2 door, panel door, is 900 millimeters wide by 2000 millimeters high. D3 door is a flush door, and that is 750 millimeters wide by 2000 millimeters high. So anywhere you see D1, they're talking about a sliding glass door. Anywhere you see D2, it's talking about a panel door, and anywhere you see D3, that is a flush door, and those are the measurements. Now we have 2 types of windows on this building. We have a double 1 window, which is a casement type window. Alright, and we have a double 2 window, which is a glass sliding window. Now the dimensions are here, you can clearly see them. Alright, when it comes onto the wall, they're telling you the type of wall or the thickness. Now it says that external wall, all the outer walls are 150 millimeters thick, 10 mm plasters on both sides. You can ignore that 10 millimeters here and just focus on this 150 millimeters thick here. Internal wall is the same treatment, focus on this here. So this is what the thickness of the wall should be. For the gable roof, or for the roof, gable and hip combination, the overhang should be 300 millimeters all the way around. And then finally, the height of the finished floor to the wall plate is actually 2400. Alright, now here we have it, and it is telling you the side that you need to produce the elevations for. So it says that this side here, so what you're seeing here, so you have double 1, double 2, double 1 windows, and then we have On this side here, which is the front, we have a W1 window. We have a D1 door. Remember, the D1 door is a sliding glass door. We have another W1 window here. Alright, and as we can see here, we're going to be producing the elevation without having to produce the floor plan. Alright, now techniques may vary. Personally for me right now, I'm just, since I don't want to be going back and forth with my let me see if I can change page layout, orientation, landscape. Let's see if it looks any better now. Alright, so because I don't want to be going back and forth with my how do I call this, with my computer screen, I'm going to be copying and pasting this image into AutoCAD. However, on the day of the exam, you'll have the paper in front of you. Alright, what is this asking me? I don't want to capture the text. Alright, so here we have our layout. I'm just going to scale it to appropriate size so that my drawing is not bigger than my picture, or my picture is not bigger than my drawing. So I'm going to type SC for scale, select my base point, type R for reference point. Let me just turn off object snap for now. I'm going to click between 2 points that I know the measurement for. So for example, here, and that is 1500. Alright, now my drawing should be at the appropriate scale. So I'm now going to be producing my elevation drawing. Alright, my elevation drawing. Now this, I'm going to start by first drawing an horizontal line, and this horizontal line will basically be representing my floor level. Alright, so boundary, ground, I should have a floor, yeah, that one there. Alright, so that will represent my floor level. Now it says that the height from the finished floor to the wall plate is actually, where is it? From the finished floor to the wall plate is 2,400. So we're going to offset that line up 2,400. So O, enter 2,400. So I'm offsetting this up. Let me change this to another layer. Something solid. Here, just make it green for now. Alright. Then I'm going to just start by drawing a vertical line. And this vertical line is going to represent any one of the sides. So say for example, I'm working on my front elevation here. Alright. This line here will represent this edge here. Alright. Remember, it's everywhere there is an edge, we need to have a line there. So for example, we have this portion of the building protruding out, so it means that there's a change in depth. Alright, it is a bit further, it's a bit closer to us. So we need to indicate that change in depth, or that corner, using a line. And how far is that corner from here? So from here to here is actually 3,470. So we need to offset this line here 3,470. Alright, so I'm offsetting it to my right. Now we move on to the next portion. So there is another change in depth. Alright, so it's going across here to here, which is basically this edge here. Going to the other end of the porch is actually 4,560. So what do we do? Offset 4,560, and we offset it to our right. So we're moving to our right. So one portion left, and it is actually this corner here, this corner, and from here, the edge of the porch to that corner is 3,470. So what do? I offset 3,470 to my right, and that is basically my front elevation, the walls, the edges, the corners that I need done and dusted and in place. Alright, now once I have that out of the way, the next step that I'm going to do is clean up my drawing. And then I'm going to be adding my roof now. Alright, I'm going to be drawing my roof. Alright, now they have already told me, that the overhang for my roof is 300 millimeters. So I know everywhere there is an edge, as you can see from the roof plan here, the overhang where the building extends beyond the wall is 300. Everywhere there is an edge, you know there's going to be one because the roof is covering that portion. So what do? I offset these wall lines here by 300 millimeters. So I'm going to offset them by 300 millimeters. Now, once I've offsetted them, the next step is that I'm going to be offsetting this line here down by a certain amount. Now this line down will be offsetted by about 150. Alright, and this here will represent my fascia board. Alright, if you do not know what a fascia board is, that's something that you need to know about. Alright, now once I've offsetted it down, the next step is to clean up my drawing. So what if you're going to extend, trim, fillet, whatever technique you want to use, it's up to you. Alright, to get the lines to extend to where they need to be. Alright, now once that is out of the way, what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to fillet the corners. Now remember, the large portion of the roof is a gable roof, as you can see from this large ridge board running along here. Now if you know about gable roof, you'll know that it only has a roof covering two sides, and then there's wall going all the way up to the roof on either end, opposed to that of a gable of a hip roof that has the roof on all four sides. Alright, so let me clean up this drawing here. Alright, so the large portion of the roof, the height is going to be or for this portion of the roof, large portion of the roof, the height is determined by the pitch that you're going to be using for the roof. So if it's 1 in 12, 1 in whatever it may be, or if it's an angle. Alright, it's up to you. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to further clean up my drawing some more. So get rid of these, get rid of this. Alright, so on and so forth. Now once that is out of the way, I'm now going to be drawing the hip portion of my roof, that is the portion covering the porch. Alright, now the angle of my roof that I'm going to be using is going to be 35. So I'm going to draw a line from this corner here that represents the overhang for my porch roof, and I'm going to draw it at an angle of 30 degrees. Now the angle is dependent on you, the technique you want to use is dependent on you as well. Alright, and I'm just going to mirror to the other side. Once I mirror to the other side, I'll simply move this portion to the overhang section, and then I can just now easily fillet the corners. Alright, for the main part of the roof, I'm going to leave that for now because I'm going to use the other view to determine what the overall height of my roof will be. Alright, so I'm just cleaning up my drawing here. As you can see, these can be placed on my roof layer, and that is if you have one. I believe I do have one, a roof. Alright, now I'm going to start the other end of the drawing. So they are the side view basically over here. Now the measurement is clear, as they tell you that it is 8,700. So I'm just going to draw a vertical line down somewhere here, and then offset it 8,700 to my right offset, 8,700 to my right, like this. Alright, I'll clean up my drawing by trimming, filleting, whatever technique you want to use. I'll use the drawing to my right to determine the height of my roof. To my drawing on my left, I like the height of the roof on my right. I'll offset the overhang by offsetting these outer lines that represent the furthest edge of the walls. Now the reason why you're only seeing two lines is because there is no protrusion of the building on the side view. Alright, it's just one flat wall, that's the reason. Alright, so once that is in place, let me offset the lines for the overhang, which is 300. That's what they told us. And once I offset those lines, I'm now going to clean up my drawing by trimming, filleting, whatever technique you want to use. Whatever technique you want to use, alright? Same treatment on this end. You can trim, fillet, chamfer, whatever technique you want to use to clean up your drawing, alright? So we basically have the general outline. So now it's time for the roof. Now if you know what a gable roof look like, and based on the image that is here, you can see it comes up on one side. Let me so from this side it comes all the way until it gets to the ridge board, and then it slopes down on the other side. That's how that's how gable roofs are. Alright, so all I'm going to do, using the same angle, I'm going to be drawing a line at 30 degree going this direction, and then now I repeat the process. I hope this is 30. Let me draw it again just to be sure. And I'm manually entering the angle. You could use dynamic tracking if you like. It doesn't really matter. Let's see. Alright, so I'm holding down shift, greater than sign, 30 degree, press enter. It should lock my cursor along the 30 degree axis. I click, and then I simply mirror to the other side. Let me turn on auto for this. Then I can either trim or fillet the corners to clean up my drawing. Alright, now here, as you can see, we have the fascia board, but if you know about gable roof, you know that what we have here is basically a hip roof, because we have a fascia on this side, but we do not need that. We need a gable roof. So it means that our walls is going to go all the way up to the roof. Alright, so all of this in the middle must go. So what do? We extend our wall lines up to meet our roof line, and then we trim out this middle portion, leaving this overhang section here. Alright, so this is basically your roof. Alright, now just similar to your what do we call this, your hip roof, it does have a fascia on this side. However, the fascia is along the slope of the gable roof. Now all of this here is known as a gable wall because it goes all the way up to the roof. So this is a learning exercise as well as a past paper. I really want everybody to understand what is going on here. I'm going to offset the fascia, which is 150, from these lines here, and then you can either trim, fillet, whatever technique you choose to clean up your drawing. Alright, these go all the way down to meet the other portions of the roof. Now this section here is known as a bird box, if that makes sense. So you know what we're going to do now, we're going to clean out all the excess. So for example, this here and this here must go on this side. On this side we're trimming out here, leaving the bird box area there. Now this is your gable roof. Alright, now with this and done and dusted, now we know what the height of our roof is going to be. The height of our roof is going to be up to this point. So all we're going to do is simply draw lines up from the corners to touch that. You can either copy or mirror to the other side, or you can go over to the other side and draw it. It's up to you. And in doing so, now you can clean up your drawing by trimming or filleting. The option is yours, right? Alright, and all of this here should be on our roof layer. Alright, now once all of that is in place, you know you can hatch your roof, right? You wouldn't hatch here because this is a wall, but here is a roof, so you can hatch that using, I'm going to be using the hatch pattern known as AR shake. So let's find AR shake. So we're hatching here, alright, and we're going to be hatching on top of the porch separately. But just before I do it, I'm going to offset this porch line here by about 100 millimeters, and this is just for aesthetics purpose and just to differentiate between the different parts of the roof. Maybe that's a bit too much. Let's make it 25 offset. Again, this is just for aesthetics purpose. Alright, then I'm going to hatch this portion of the roof. So I'm going to type hatch and hatch it using AR shake as well. Now I should believe I have a hatch layer, although I'm not sure, but I'm going to check. I should have an hatch layer, so I'm going to put it on that. Alright, now our roofs are all in place, so the only thing that is missing now is our windows and our doors and the openings and all of that fancy stuff. Alright, so let me put these on my wall layer, a wall conk right there. Alright, now it's time for us to add our windows, alright, and our opening and our archways and so forth. Alright, so here we have the porch. Here on the drawing we have our porch. Alright, or a porch. Now it says that this is the front. I'm not sure what is going on here because it just shows a little opening here. So we're going to add that little opening. We're going to use our discretion for that one there. I want my porch to be wide and open. Alright, and then there's a door in the background there. And remember, this is a D1 door, so it's a sliding glass door. So I'm going to draw my sliding glass door based on the measurements that I have here. Sliding glass door, 1800 by 2100. So let's draw that. So I'm going to start by drawing the width of the glass door, the width, 1800, and then the height is 2100. 2100. Alright, going back across, 1800. You could have just drawn a rectangle and everything would be good here. I'm just going to select everything here, paste it on my door layer. I'm going to join the line, type GOI, join, and then after I'm going to offset these lines by about 50, which is representing the door jamb in a sense. Then I'm going to draw a line down the middle, and this line is going to represent the two halves of the door. So I'm going to offset this line on either side by about 50. Then I'm going to draw a line, or you could use an arrow, it's up to you. I'm going to use polygon, three-sided polygon, draw polygons. Alright, so and then I'm going to draw a rectangle. I'm going to move this to there, and then I'll mirror this to the other side. And this is just me being a bit extra to show the direction in which the door will slide. So it slide on either way. At this point now, everything should be on the door layer. You can group it if you want, you could join it if you want, the option is yours. I'll try grouping it, but sometimes the grouping does not work, but I'll check. Doesn't work, but I'm going to place it where it needs to be nonetheless. Alright, so let me grab onto my door and I'm going to put it smack in the center of my wall here. Alright, so let me do that, and I'm going to grab this and move it using a suitable base point and place it right there. I remove my little guideline now because my door is in place. So that's my sliding door. The next thing, we need to add our windows now. So we have two W1 windows, and the W1 windows, and we can look at our specification sheet. W1 windows are casement type windows, and it is 1200 wide by 750. So we're going to draw a rectangle, 1200 by 750. So rectangle width 1200, tab key 750. Alright, now casement windows are basically hinge windows. So basically those open like a door. Now it could be single hinge, it could be double hinge, so it could open in two, it could open as one, it could look like an awning window. Those are what casement windows are. I'm going to do mine so mine looks like it swings out on both sides. So I'm going to draw it similar to what I did with the door. It's going to look the exact same way, believe it or not. So let me paste this on my I should have a windows layer, I should have one. Let me look. Alright, now once I have that in place, let me offset the 50, and then let me draw the line in the middle, and offset 50 on either side. Bear in mind, you can go all out with this if you want. Alright, I'm just going to draw a little rectangle to represent my little hinge at the edge. Let me move it over like that and copy it down. Alright, once that is in place, let me place them on the relevant layer. Window. Alright, at that point now I'm going to just copy this line here. I'm not sure how much I made this here. Let me double check. 0.8. Whatever it is, let me just draw a line and then capture that. Or I'll just leave it. Let me mirror this to the other side. Alright, now once that is in place, you can group it at this point and then you place it where it needs to be. Now both of them are both W1 windows are basically in the center of the wall, so that's where I'll be placing mine. That's where I'll be placing mine. So I'm just going to find the center of these walls. And remember, these walls are going to be, or the windows are going to be on the same height as the door and such. So let me find these center points. These lines are just for reference purpose and reference purposes only. They'll be removed afterwards. So let me copy my window here, and for my window I'm going to draw a line inside of it like this, and this line is to indicate how it opens. These lines will be in a broken line, so I'm just going to use this one here for now. Alright, and then I'm going to place them where it needs to be placed, smack in the center of these walls. Alright, now once those are in place, let's remove these guidelines here, and now we can look at or turn our attention to our side view here. Now on our side view, our windows are located, and let's check. There's a I made a mistake. There is a window smack in the center of the wall here, so we're going to make some adjustment to our roof here based on the measurement here. So here is how it's going to happen. Alright, so here, this line here, I'm going to offset it in by 1500 to represent from here inwards. Alright, so I'm going to offset the line 1500 in like this. So this will basically represent this portion here that extrude the porch. Alright, I'm going to extend these lines here to meet. Alright, this line will have to be removed, and I'm going to draw a line to represent my fascia board over here. Alright, so that's that portion there. Let's clean up my drawing here. I made serious mistake. This is the importance of paying attention, and don't feel if I'm making the error, other persons can make the error as well. Alright, so it's the same treatment. Draw an angled line at 30 degrees. Alright, oops. .30 Alright, so we have this line here going up. So I now need to separate or add the overhang for the gable portion. So I'm going to offset the line by 300 right there. Let's trim away this portion here and leave the gable portion. So now we need to reflect what is over here on the other side. So let's mirror it, and then I'll move it to where it needs to be. Nope, grab onto this, and let's move it over to where it needs to be, which is right there. And let's fillet the corners or trim the corners. The option is yours. Alright, we need to clean out what needs to be cleaned out. For example, inside here. Thought I had placed this at the right location. Let's move it over. Let's fillet the corners. So we're filleting the corners. Alright. Now in terms of like the gable porch, the hip portion, we can capture that height from what is over here. Project our line across and see where it falls. So it basically falls up here. So let's fillet the corners, fillet here and here, and then trim out whatever is not a part of it. Alright. So just like that, we have fixed our error very easily. So now we can rehatch our roof. Now let us check to ensure that the height or the current height of our roof is where it needs to be. So we need to adjust the roof. So it's going down now to there. Doing the same thing on this end here. Let me select everything and move it down. Alright. Then now we can rehatch our roof. So we're hatching here and we're hatching here. Remember, this is a gable wall, so we don't hatch our wall. Alright. Now let's put in our windows on this side here. Now there is a bathroom window right in the center. So let me just project a line over. Remember, all the windows and door are on the same height. Alright, so we're going to do our bathroom window, and it's a W2 window. Now our W2 window, from based on the specification sheet, W2 window, sliding glass window, 750, 400. So we're drawing a rectangle, 750. Alright, tab key, 400. Alright, same treatment where we are going to be offsetting 50 inwards. So we offset 50 inwards, and it's a gliding window. And then we're simply going to be breaking this window into two halves, and we're going to offset 50 on either side as well. So this is our window. Alright, let's place these on the relevant layer. Alright, now for this here, you can indicate which direction it is actually it slides as well, and you can simply just copy this one that you have here and place it on it. But however, we'll need to scale it so that it matches. So let's scale it to about let's try scale here. Let's eyeball it. Alright, and let's move it where it needs to be. Move to right there, and let's mirror to the other side, just like that. Oops, mirror to the other side. Nope. Alright, now we can place it where it needs to be placed. So we're moving it, grabbing it in the middle here. So our base point is very important, and we're placing it right at the intersection. Let me ensure that that point is turned on. Intersection, yeah. Alright, right there. Now once that is in place, it's time for us to add our W2 windows. Where our W2 windows are located smack in the center of those walls. So I'm going to use some referencing lines here. So the bathroom is 1800. Alright, 1800. Half of 1800, I have no idea how much that is. I'm going to say that it is actually 900. So now I know that my window should be in the middle of this line and in the middle of this line. and I already have my W2 windows already drawn. So all I'm going to do is simply copy my window and place them where they need to be. For example, the center here, the center there, and then once those are in place, I can remove what I do not need. All those guidelines gone. Alright, so all my windows are in place there. Now our porch, our porch has to be fancy and open and everything, because yeah, we finished the test. We have enough time to play around, add our drawing to make it a lot more beautiful. So what do? We're going to be drawing our little porch, and we're going to be adding our little archway to our little porch. Alright, we're drawing a little archway to our little porch. Remember, all openings are on the same height as the doors and the windows and so forth. Alright, so what I'll do, I just offset this line down by about 300. Maybe in the exam they'll tell you something if you need to. Alright, 300 down like this. Alright, and I'll just use my my arc tool. That's the one that says 3 point. So I go from here to the middle, then down here. That's my archway. Alright, however, I want here to have a little column. Alright, how much is going to be my column? I don't know at this time. Let's make it 8 inches, and 8 times 25 will give us about 200. So let's offset this line by 200. And then now I can now use this now. I can now use this as my guide to generate my little arc for my opening archway. So let's go. Arc, this point, middle, then back down. Here we go. All you're going to do now is to simply clean up your drawing by filleting or trimming the corners like that. Alright, just like that. Same thing on this side here. I'm going to put my little archway here. Remember, it's going to be on the same height, or you don't have to make it an archway if you so desire. So if you want it to just be flat and straight and whatever, you just need to add the columns, which is, you can make the columns on this side here and maybe 300, since the width of this is so much. And then all you're doing is filleting or trimming the corners, chamfering the corners to clean up your drawing. Nothing changes. And this would be your veranda thingy thing. Alright, now once that is in place, ensure that your layering stuff is sorted out, because you want your drawing to be printed next to perfect. Alright, all of this should be on the roof layer. What needs to be on the roof layer should be on the roof layer. What needs to be on the relevant layer should be on those layers, because you'll have already set up the environment with all the drawing requirements all done, line weights to match. Alright, all of that should be set up. Let's match some properties for a hatch pattern here that represent our roof. Alright, now all of that is in place. It's time for us to do some additional work. So we need to add, we're going to make our veranda or porch a bit lower than our inside of the building. This line here represents our floor. We don't want when rainfall, breeze, blowing some wind, and then the water goes inside the house. So we're going to make it a bit lower. How much lower? We're going to make it about 6 inches, which is about 150 millimeters. So what do? We offset this line here down by 150. Alright. And then now I'll extend EX. Extend this to meet, that to meet, all of this to meet, and the same thing on this side here. And then I'll now clean up. So I'll get rid of this line, TR, this line. Let's extend EX. Nope, let's just trim that out. Alright, now this line here is going to be a solid line, so you could use the wall layer for this one here. You leave your hidden detail line to represent your floor level. Now once that is in place, let me just do some further cleaning up. On this side here, we're going to remove this line here because it stepped down into here at this point here. On this view, yes, we would see everything, so let's clean up everything. And now we're going to be adding our ground level. Now my ground level is going to be a bit fancy, but I'm making it a bit squiggly, alright, if that makes sense. So I'm doing it a bit weirdy, because I want mine to be fancy. And remember, these are elevations. So I'm using my streamline tool to do so. Alright. Let me trim away the excess line that represents the ground level, the floor level. Now once I have my ground, my uneven ground, I'll now extend the walls down to meet the ground, because that's how it is in reality. So I'm extending my walls down to meet my ground. Alright. And then now it's time for me to do some labeling, dimensions, and annotations. Alright, and add the title. Now you don't need to be fancy with the annotation. You can use tool palette 1, or you can write the text. It doesn't really matter. Alright, so for this one here, this would be the whatever it is here, side elevation. Let me double check. So we have the side elevation, and I'm copying this to it, and then the scale 1 in 50. Now I like to make my scale portion here half the current size of the text, whatever it is. So I'll now click. Now it's a bit too small, so all I'll do is simply scale it up using my eyeball to guide me. Alright, now for this, I like when the scale line portion is aligned to my right hand side like this. I'll pull this in a bit so that everything is okay there, and then I'll underline my text like that. I'm just going to capitalize S and E. Bear in mind you could do this up here as well, just like in Microsoft Word. Once that is in place, let me copy this, and I'm going to place it underneath my front elevation. Same treatment. Alright, so those texts and everything added there. Now it's time for us to add. So we're labeling basically that hidden detail line there, and we're calling this FFL, and the FFL stands for finish floor level. So let's move this over. Alright, and let's copy it to where we need to copy it to. And this is just me being a bit extra. Alright, so we have that in place. So let's pop in some dimensions now, so we can capture probably the height of the roof here. We can go to annotation, continue, thickness of the fascia board down to the floor level. Other dimension to include height of the window, how far is it away from the ground level, height of the opening here, this archway, not archway but the veranda opening here. So for elevation, you're only concerned about vertical dimensions. Alright, so the same treatment there. You can capture the height on this one here. So for example, from the apex of the gable roof here, continue down to tape roof, the fascia board there, and then we have here. All right, we can capture the height of the archway at the apex to the ground there. We did capture the change in height or elevation for the ground between the veranda and the inside of the building. We can capture the height of this small bathroom window here and how far it is away from the ground level. Same treatment for height of the these casement window, how far they are away from the ground level. Alright, so those are some of the things. Once you have all of this in place, you're basically the work done and dusted. You're getting almost perfect marks for this. Alright, now the only thing that would be left is for you to lay out your drawing. So you lay them out on your title block here. This title block I have here. So I'll just find my drawing, and here's where the scaling part comes into play. Alright, so all you're going to do now, once you're in layout space like this, click on here and then select the one that says 1 in 50. AutoCAD will automatically adjust the image to the scale that it needs to be. Let me double do that again. My mouse is acting up. Alright. Double tap outside to deactivate. Zooming, that's what it looks like. Let me move that window that we had drawn. Let me delete it. Now, once you have that in place, let's redo the whole template thing for the layout. So this is, let me rename this. I think I added the front elevation here, front. So let's go, right click on the plus button from template. I'm selecting this template here. You might use another one, but I'm using this one. So I have it here now. This is going to be my side. Double tap, find my drawing, and then set up my scale. All I'm going to do, click here, 1 in 50, and then AutoCAD will automatically adjust it for me. Alright. Now, if you're not seeing the broken or the in detail line, it means that the line type scale in paper space needs to be adjusted. So double tap, type PLTS, enter, change it to 1. Should fix the problem. Alright, should automatically fix over here as well. So, and then you're writing your information here using the text tool. Generate your PDF file by going to print. I'm going to go batch plot because I want both of them on the same page. I'll remove the DWG file here. Then I'll publish. It will ask me where I want to save it. I'm saving it on my flash drive, my school, my Easter term here, fifth form, course test, and elevation. And then go OK, select. No, I don't want to save. It will generate my PDF file. Once my PDF file is generated, then I'll be able to view. You'll see down here that says plot job completed. Alright, and I want to walk you through the process of this here, and this is what you're going to be doing in the exam as well. Alright, so I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. Alright, so these are basically what is expected of you. Your drawings looking nice and lovely, as you can see here, looking lovely. Alright, and this is basically how to produce an elevation drawing from a floor plan without having to redraw the floor plan. It says that our drawing is completed. So let's see. Alright, let's see elevations. Alright, so here is our elevation drawing. This is the front view. Alright, so we're seeing the gable side. Alright, you know your name would have been at those positions. Here is the end view here. Remember, you need to know about the types of roof, how they look from the plan and the ends, types of windows and doors, how they look from the top, side and end, those type of stuff. So this here is looking lovely. Alright, I hope this video was helpful in terms of like getting you to understand how to produce elevation drawing from a floor plan without having to reproduce a floor plan. Now it's a very simple process. Let's go through this tutorial. Please listen to what I have to say. and I'll see you on the next one. Alright, so I'm putting together a series of tutorial on exam preparation and how to tackle the question for building drawing. Alright, so see you in the next one. Please do subscribe, share with a friend, because I'm sure there are persons that are in need of these type of information here. Alright, so see you around.